I love real life stories, and I've got to tell you all about the best kept secret here at Unity Temple. It's our Wednesday night service. It's so cool. I interview and talk to people, you guys. I talked to David Adams and Warren Teachout. I'm talking to Ron McCorkle next week, David Westbrook, a lot of people, and I'm even forgetting some people that I've been able to talk to, Vilma De Leon, a lot of the folks right here, Frank Freeman, in our congregation that have amazing stories, because we're all absolutely amazing. You know, everyone's born with this incredible purpose, and we often are so busy analyzing the darkness, we're missing the whole darn thing. So come to Wednesday night and hear how amazing all of you all are, and it'll remind you. Because I could never have had any change in my life without hearing somebody's story. You know, I tried to get sober. I had car accidents. They threw me in jail. They did this and that and the other. But the only way I got sober was hearing somebody that had 10 years of sobriety telling his story. I couldn't even figure out how to do 10 minutes of sobriety. But this guy had 10 years, and I thought I could hear that. And it was such awakening and lots of tears, because I realized if that guy can do it, I can do it. And of course, he said 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time. And so this isn't something, again, that we figure out. It's an experience of awakening. There was a guy, I love these real life stories, Jose Rene Martinez, that had a story of something that he thought he could never deal with. Jose went to Iraq when he was 19. And very soon into his time in Iraq, his Humvee hit a landmine, and it blew up. And all the other guys in that Humvee got away, but Jose Rene was strapped in. And he said he watched his skin change as he was burning, and they got him out of that. But he came back for his recovery, and his recovery was 36 months and 32 surgeries. And 5 weeks into his experience, he said he wanted to see what he looked like. And so the nurse gave him a mirror. He'd lost an ear, you know, his whole face and head had been burned. And when he saw his reflection, he said, I can't live like this. And he got very depressed, and he felt suicidal, and he was crying every night because he said, I know the world judges me by what I look like, and I look like a disaster, and my life is never going to go on like this. And his mother came into the hospital a few days later, and he was so, you know, depressed and sad and not knowing how his life was going to go forward. And she said, Jose, the people in your life love you for who you are, not what you look like. They love you for who you are. And so I guess you're going to have to figure out more of who you are. And he sat with that for a while. And he recognized that his way of serving was going to be helping other veterans that went through this experience. And he said in that moment of realizing that Jose Rene had died and JR was born. And he went on, as probably many of you know, he went to help veterans, and he just went on to have this experience of how he gets to serve as JR. And he ended up, he really wanted to do acting. And he ended up getting a position on a role in All My Children as playing a veteran. And then he realized he really liked to dance. And he went on to learn dancing, and he's now one of, I don't know how, I don't watch Dancing with the Stars, but he's in Dancing with the Stars right now, as many of you know. And he's about to go back to Iraq to give these people that are enlisted hope about who they are rather than what they're doing. You know, being in balance. It's being, not doing. And how do we find out more of who we are? How do we not make the darkness something that blocks us, but something as JR, as Marlon, as we get to grow through, and we recognize as I embrace the darkness and not try to get over it, but get into it and learn about what that represents and what I'm growing through and how I get to let my light shine through it. You know, Steve Jobs, I bought an Apple laptop last week because I had a story about I can't do technology, and I needed to get rid of that darkness, and I got a laptop. But I was over there at the Apple store, which I've never walked in without assistance, and I went in by myself. And this young techie guy that's called a genius, I mean, I'd like to talk to him, right? And he looks at me and I said, I don't really understand Mac. And he said, Mac's philosophy is you erase your mind and think differently. I'm like, oh, that's what we teach at Unity. That's what I'm about. And tears are coming down my face, and I'm in the Apple store. I'm like, oh, you know. But I had to realize, I'm like, oh yeah, this stuff's everywhere. It's not just here. And so my question for all of you today, what is the action you can take today, this week, that is something that you're walking out of this analysis paralysis of the darkness and living in the light? Because the minute you take that one step, the minute you change that one thought, the whole world is here to show up for you. You know, here's that guy, the genius, telling me, you know, what I really needed to hear. You got to think differently. I'm like, yeah, you 20-year-old genius guy. You know, but it was, I'm like, he's trying to help the old people. So, but my old thinking is what really needs to shift, right? I like that they call Steve Jobs, they referred to him not as Einstein, but as Picasso. You know, it's that creative energy within us that is the light that wants so much to shine. And it's in every one of us. It's not just Marlon, it's not just Steve Jobs, it's not just J.R. Martinez, it's in you. So let this experience of your life be one where you let your light shine before men, before women, and let this world be a better and more lit place. So let's take that into meditation as we love the light that we are.